Yeah. Recording. Let me be careful so my phone won't dip on me. Alright. Just a little closer. Yeah. Anyway. Hello. Happy late. Merry late Christmas here. Happy late holidays here. Figured we gonna end this new year by reacting to something very different from Death Battle. Yeah. On this edition of Unkgeta Reacts, I'm going to react to an oldie but a goodie to some of y'all. An episode of Fictional Characters Collide. But this particular third season of Fictional Characters Collide. Because I've actually... Because here's the thing. Well, we all actually watched the first two seasons before I even started recording it. And I'm not about to go all the way back to this other stuff. And that was... Besides, I had to ask Demon, who is pretty much the head of this channel on the Discord, to ask if I can react to all his stuff, including the latest being the matchup that I'm gonna soon do, which is basically Louis versus Natsu. But we're not gonna be there yet, because I figured I'm gonna react to just this season alone, because this is pretty much where I keep up watching this, and I've seen many of these episodes many times, and yeah, and like me, they also inspired by that battle. And by the way, he's a nice guy. Y'all guys should definitely just subscribe to him and his partner Oscar over here. I'm gonna put the original video for anyone who else wants to look at it who haven't even seen all his matches, even this channel. Go support this channel, and also Ko-fi page. Also, gonna put the link up to the Cash App, PayPal. You guys want to donate me support not only the UCBL channel, but the Akuma Productions, and also my main channel when I end up doing music. Cause I'm gonna probably start making some more music. Just haven't even done it. I might have to start making concept tracks for matchups I haven't been doing but haven't done yet for the show. But unlike with that, I'm probably going to use those for the fight in question. Anyway, unlike with Brandon Yates, who pretty much had to create music specifically for Death Battle and not in Death, because Death Battle's not going to use his commission tracks, and vice versa. You think when they did Simone versus Kyle, they had to do a different type of matchup altogether? Me, couldn't just use it the same way. Well, with a few exceptions, because most of my older music is for the blog music, but then when I had to end up doing it, I had to make stuff for the episode. But the thing is, now I'm going to just make stuff for just the episode and blog, and I'm going to use the same music. That's how I'm going to do. And I'm probably gonna start pretty much a membership channel soon. If anybody else want me to do it in the comments, let me know. But anyway, so what we got here today for this first episode, and I'm going to be doing this every week starting from this week, obviously Friday, or basically this will probably be up on Monday anyway. Dexyos versus Boros. And this is Pokemon versus One Punch Man. Weird one, I'm going to tell you. So basically, first, have been a Pokemon fan, or was, and besides, I figure since Ash Yugi came out and whatever, with the Pokemon, how about we get into it deep with a different series? So this is Dexyos versus Boros, and let me go put that on the full screen. And Dexyos versus Boros. It's one of these matches where it's amazing. I pretty much may have to look up on the connections or whatever, but okay. But it would probably be two creatures alien creatures who brawl with the best of them, and all that jazz. But okay. So what we're gonna do, and this one was made 2001. 2021. So that was like, considering 2025, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's 5 years ago. So it's been a while, but hey, so it's been out for a minute. So I'm gonna play it, see how you like my reaction to it. Okay.
Do you ever wonder if we're alone in the universe? If we'll ever be able to explore the vast cosmos and find intelligent life?
You mean other intelligent life?
Nope.
Well, if these two are any indication, we'd be hopelessly outgunned if we ever did stumble across aliens. Or they find us.
These extraterrestrial beings are nearly unmatched by any foe on Earth. Their sheer destructive power and ability to heal from any wound have surely spelled the end for humanity if not for one regular guy conveniently having the greatest firepower on Earth at their disposal.
Deoxys, the DNA Pokemon.
Yes.
And Lord Boros, the dominator of the universe.
I'm Demon and he's Archer.
And it's our job to analyze these characters to their fullest, covering their feats and faults to find out who would win when these two fictional characters collide.
We covered the Pokemon world before and how crazy some of the creatures in it can get. There's a ghost teacup now.
Yeah, ghost teacups. It's also a bunch of Pikachu. Also a bunch of Pikachus. Even including some Ash ad, but we're not gonna get into that. Just see my other reaction on Ash vs. you. We ain't getting into that.
Cool!
But things get even weirder when you look beyond into the cosmos. Creatures from other dimensions, gods that live above us.
And aliens!
Yes, even aliens. Like today's combatant, the psychic-type powerhouse, the DNA Pokemon Dexyos.
Was once just a regular alien virus mutated when it was exposed to a laser. The Pokédex doesn't say...
Well, I guess I'm gonna rate this. Well, I gotta read this like every other, so... So name, Dexyos, he has no gender. So we'll have to assume... we have to assume pronouns on this. He, she, her, whatever. I mean, okay, I guess it's weird when you have to go and say this whole thing with with binaries and pronouns a lot. I hate to say it, y'all make people who they are. You're not supposed to be. When you say no gender, are you basically insinuating you're a Pokemon? Yeah. Okay. Pokedex number 386. Type Psychic. The DNA of a space virus underwent certain mutation under exposure to a laser beam, resulted in Deoxys. The crystalline organ on this Pokemon's chest appears to be its brain. Ooh, on its chest? Whoa. Okay, while Iron Man has a reactor on his chest, this guy has a brain on his chest too. Freaky tiki, I'm gonna have to say. Freaky tiki. Especially for a Pokemon. Especially, yeah. For a show about electric mices and nices and aces and wanna be villains trying to chase the guy. But that's neither here or there. Let's go. Let's continue on.
Kind of laser? Just a laser. It mutated and landed on the Earth in a meteor. That's really all the origin there is to go over. I mean, it fought Waycraza on the way down. That's something, I guess.
I don't think we should mention that it gets bodied as the first thing it did on Earth.
Next character we're covering is Boros.
Touché.
Touché? What happened to one Shay?
Oh my god.
Deoxys is a Psychic-type Pokemon, giving it a same-type attack bonus on all its Psychic-type moves.
Such as the aptly named Psychic, a powerful telekinetic attack, and Zen Headbutt, a move where Deoxys focuses its willpower into its head before ramming the foe.
Yeah, see, I think I remember seeing one of these scenes in the original Pokemon, though. And he actually does use the Psychic Burst on this. But like I said, there ain't no pop-up, so I'll just figure this out, yeah. He can actually do those things of what he said. Psychic Burst, all these other random attacks on here that are Pokemon.
It thinks really hard and that makes its headbutt psychic? How does that work?
I imagine thinking really hard isn't something you're very familiar with.
Sorry, what was that? I spaced out.
Of course you did.
But just in case Deoxys is against someone who resists psychic attack, it has other tricks up its sleeves to give it a bit more versatility. Whatever that means. Deoxys can use knockoff to disarm its opponent, and with pursuit it deals double damage to opponents trying to escape the battle.
Nightshade deals damage to the opponent equal to Deoxys' current level, however that's supposed to work.
I don't get how Planet is conveyed as a number.
And with Hyper Beam, it unleashes an incredibly powerful blast of energy, though it's left tired and unable to act for a short period of time. Only if it hits though. If it misses or gets blocked, Deoxys is still good to go. Somehow.
This doesn't so rely on damaging moves to aid it in combat though. What use is having all this power if it can't last long enough to use any of it? Cosmic Power lets Deoxys absorb a mystical power from space that boosts its defense and special defense.
And with Psycho Shift, it uses the power of suggestion to make Demon a bearable co-host.
Not happening, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
See, what Psycho Shift actually does is use the power of suggestion to give Deoxys' opponent.
Okay, Psycho Shift, the non-user volatile status condition transferred to the target and the user is cured. Fails if the user has no volatile status condition if the target already has one. Guess you could pretty much I bet you if you had a Deoxys card, it would say Psycho Shift and it would have the points. But hey, then had Pokemon cards collect them too. So I'll go back. I'll have to collect them. And then all I got is decks featuring a Raikou, a Mewtwo, and one's within a Cineroar. So hey. But I guess if you had a deck like with Deoxys and Psycho Shift, that could be one of the most powerful cards. So I'm saying with that, and especially if anybody caught this with Pokemon. I wonder if Ash had even prevented Deoxys, but okay. Moving on.
Any conditions Deoxys itself has. How would that possibly change how I am as a co-host? That would imply that Deoxys is a good co-host, which I'm pretty sure it is. And oh my god, I finally understand how it feels to think really hard. It hurts.
Don't hurt yourself.
And with Recover, Deoxys is able to restore its vitality.
Not sure why that needs a move when Deoxys already has a natural healing factor, potent enough to restore entire massive chunks getting blown off its body. This is made possible by the crystalline organ in its chest, which is also its brain, which it also shoots lasers out of.
That's fucking cool as hell!
Very insightful commentary as well. Anyway, so not only does its brain shoot lasers for some reason, but it also allows Deoxys to alter its own molecular formation to change into 4 different forms.
Not only do these change its stats, but they allow it to learn moves it can't in other forms. First up, its attack form. On top of making Deoxys hits even harder at cost of decreased defense, it also gives access to Superpower, a fighting type move that lowers its physical attack.
Okay, so it looks normal. This is an attack. Deoxys in the Game Boy Advance games, the wild Deoxys wouldn't reveal its form until after its capture. Ruby and Sapphire has its normal form. Emerald has speed. Fire Red has attack, and Leaf Green had defense. Okay. So yeah, even though I haven't even played any of the Game Boy Advance games, we do understand how these things work in terms of that. I mean, and then they keep these forms not even tied to the game as well. But then you would have to go by the anime that is different from the actual game. Let's just be clear. And besides, the anime Pokemon, according to Dad Belt himself, and we know, because we've been watching this since we were kids before Dad Belt confirmed this, the things they do in the anime are totally different from the games aims at all. And that's both the anime and the manga, straight up. And then again, they heal a lot faster. Well, then again, Wiz and Boomstick never had met Deoxys, because they can heal too, and they can regenerate faster. If Ash had one of these, Vash had one of these in training so well, not even his rivals would be scared, but he doesn't really need them, because he got all of them anyway. I guess his Pokemon Ash hadn't caught yet, and possibly never will, because he headed his journey, so... moving on.
Seems like it's kind of defeats the purpose of making yourself more of a glass cannon to make yourself even weaker and frailer. But okay, more fragile glass, worse cannon.
And Zap Cannon is an electric-type move that is guaranteed to paralyze the opponent if it hits, unless the opponent is immune to it, but I don't think Boros is made of mud.
Well, after what Saitama did to him...
Deoxys' defense form increases exactly what you'd imagine while decreasing its attack. In aid to its defensive abilities, it learns Iron Defense to increase its defense against physical attacks, and can use Counter and Mirror Coat to deflect physical and special attacks back against its opponent with double the power. Also, it can use Amnesia to increase its special defense. Oh, okay, hold on, what? It is a Psychic type. Why would it make itself dumber to give itself any sort of boost? That seems kind of counterproductive to the design of a Pokemon that's literally a single type, and that type is solely meant to be really smart.
Speaking of counterproductive design choices, the final form we have to go over is Speed Form. It trades off attack for a huge increase in speed, as well as minor increases in defense. Because it makes total sense that when you want to guarantee you're going to attack first, you want to make sure your attacks are weaker.
You gotta make sure you're tougher too, so that you can survive attacks from people you could have killed by now. Speed Form allows Deoxys to use Double Team to create after images that make it more difficult to hit, and Extreme Speed, which almost guarantees that Deoxys will land the first hit by ramming into its opponent so fast that it becomes invisible to the human eye.
Well, in all of its forms, Deoxys is still capable of using its strongest move, Psycho Boost. This is an all-out attack using all of Deoxys' second power, and Deoxys has a lot of that.
Deoxys was able to contribute to holding back the Tree of Life from plummeting into the sun alongside Mega Rayquaza and Mega Mewtwo Y, requiring...
Okay, haven't even done the feats. So, his feats are... Okay. It conditioned to hold back the Tree of Life with Rayquaza and Mewtwo. Okay? Able to control the Grand Delta Meteor and survive Mega Rayquaza while ramming through it. Fought evenly with Mewtwo and Rayquaza, can transform 4 times before Mewtwo completes his swing, can regenerate from his core. This is the same... Yep. And this is the same Mewtwo who pretty much turned Ash into stone. And basically you can do something similar to that too. Especially if Ash went thrown hands on Yugi and then he gets screwed. Especially if the Spirit of Earth can probably do the same, or send him to the Shadow Realm, or send him to Oblivion, or I mean yeah. There's also the same Mewtwo who pretty much with his forms can pretty much transfer a lot faster than that though. Right? And I do have a matchup for Mewtwo, but I'm not going to reveal who his opponent is. But I think you probably already know who it is. But you'll figure it out who it is yourself anyway. But anyway. So yeah. This is one of the Pokemon that if Dash even used it, his opponents wouldn't even stop him in the slightest with that. Yeah. There you go. And this is the same one that can handle the Tree of Life with Mewtwo and Rayquaza, and control the Grand Delta Meteor and survive Rayquaza ramming through it. One evenly would be with both of these two. And these two are legendary Pokemon, man. Let's not even beat around the bush. If any creature any Pokemon we seen out here, this one is basically alien at its finest, though. It's pretty much not some random alien you find from outer space that land on Earth because it's planet design. No, this is straight up a Pokemon who's basically a star alien Pokemon, or whatever type of creature alien is. But let's just say he's a Pokemon, that's it. So
total energy exceeding 50 zetatons of TNT. Though, given that it's fought closely with their base forms, it's unlikely it was putting in as much as the others.
Even so, Deoxys on its own was able to control the Grand Delta Meteor, which was stated to be able to wipe out the entire planet. And Deoxys was able to survive being in the epicenter as Mega Rayquaza smashed right through it.
It can't fully scale to the Mega Evolved Legendaries, but it can at least take a hit from them. And despite losing to both Rayquaza and Mewtwo separately in their base forms, it was still able to hold its own and even has beaten them on occasion. Mewtwo is able to create massive storms, and Rayquaza can scare off other legendaries like Groudon and Kyogre, who can cause natural disasters just by waking up.
Be on the same level as these creatures of legends is still very impressive, especially since Deoxys isn't technically even a legendary, it's a mythical.
Arceus is a mythical demon. That title doesn't mean in terms of scaling.
Deoxys is incredibly powerful, but not without its flaws.
While Psycho Boost is an incredibly powerful attack, it also lowers Deoxys' own special attack at 2 stages with each use.
And while being a second type means Deoxys is especially powerful against...
Oh God, okay. Weakness is basically every weakness that Pokemon has. This one particular, the Bug, Dark, and Ghost type attacks. Psychic moves cannot touch Dark types at all, while being able to fight on par with them is more often than not than is defeated by both Mewtwo and Rayquaza. Form changes come at the cost of some stats decreasing. Psychic Boost weakens the psychic attacks. Okay. Other than the fact that he's weak, so yeah, all Pokemon has weaknesses to different types of attacks. Some of them are probably going to be weak to just dark and grass and electric types. Others to fighting types and all of that. So this is the fact, and then this is the fact that this alien Pokemon here, yeah, that is weak to Bug and Dark and Ghost type attacks. Yeah, it's going to be a problem for any normal Pokemon. And then Psychic Moves cannot touch any Dark types. And he was able to fight with them, but still was beaten by both Mewtwo and Rayquaza. So yeah, you can hold your own, but no matter how powerful a Pokemon is, even other Pokemon can probably bring you down to your level. Even a middle-ager too.
Fighting types like the legendary Urshifu, and the incredibly generic Swords of Justice, as well as poison types like the delightful Gulpin. What a base little guy.
It also makes it weak to types that directly represent common fears, such as bug types like the lovely Silicune, and the significantly less lovely Cascoon, as well as ghost types like the terrifying Spectre Gengar and the spiteful Net.
Not to mention that Deoxys is completely unable to affect dark types like the suspicious imposter Zoroark with its psychic abilities.
But that's why it has attacks of all types to get around those with psychic resistances, though it doesn't naturally learn that much that directly counters bug or dark types.
Still, all of this should go to show why Deoxys has earned the title of the DNA Pokemon.
What? That doesn't mean anything. What are you talking about? Nonsense is still nonsense no matter how much fake meaning you try and put in front of it.
Damn, Archer, I just wanted to have a cool sounding final line.
It didn't even sound that cool.
And you just insist on keeping this going because you didn't like it.
This is painful. Let's just talk about the other alien guy now.
DNA Pokemon, whatever.
Imagine being the strongest being in the known universe, so unbelievably powerful that nobody could fight you even if they could hold a candle to you.
I mean, I don't have to, but go on.
Such was the case with Lord Boros, and while this definitely helped him ravage any planet he came across, it meant that he wasn't ever going to find someone who could push him to his limits and give him a back.
Okay. Boros. Race alien. He's 20. Well, gender male. Nominator of the universe, seeks out a worthy opponent to challenge his power. Alien Akuma, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna call this guy Stormban Freeze. You know, I remember Boros. I saw the first season of One Punch Man. And I've been meaning to see season 2, you know. Couldn't really find it on Crunchyroll anywhere, and besides, I'm not gonna really mention those guys, cause, nah. Besides, I had to get rid of Crunchyroll. And I no longer am having Crunchyroll. I even get my main free. But yeah. But other than that, you know, I didn't see them fight. I saw him once. Fell to his knees after that. I mean, rumors came out of season 2. And I even heard, yeah, season 3, they done some AI and people hating it. And it may have been the Captain Yuki's fingers were thrown on a match, and then a bandage tape disappears. Like, yeah, she's the muscle. Yeah, she's the fit and muscly track athlete who's pretty much is a hero too. Oh yeah, she's cute too, by the way. moving on. But anyway, nothing to do with this announcement. But hey, this mofro's probably one of the sickest guys out here. He should definitely be on Death Battle though. If anybody else, I would prefer on Battle Beast. I think that's still an option. I don't even know who. But anyway.
Oh, that could really excite him, which sucks for him because that's kind of all he wanted. And it led to his life being really boring.
Meanwhile, everyone else in the universe was having the exact opposite problem. They were sick and tired of their world being torn apart by store brand.
That's 100% true. His life was boring and meaningless. Okay, so he's the Boros, the destroyer of the supermarket, and this discount freezer here is just destroying planets, and now he's bored. Then he gonna come up on Earth and do that, man? Come on, for real. I know that's part of the plot story, but come on, bro. You gonna go around and tussle because you're bored? Oh, please. Man, this dude is so stupid. Come on, let's go.
Frieza. Luckily for all of them, a seer told son of prophecy.
On a distant planet, there existed a being who could match Boros' power. Someone who could finally give him the good fight he always wanted.
Oh, yeah. Like that.
Boros' entire gang of space pirates thought it was a load of shit, only meant to send away to give everyone else what they wanted. Boros to be literally anywhere else in the universe. But Boros didn't care. He traveled for 20 straight years in his ship until he finally arrived on Earth.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. This Boros, the dramatizer of the supermarket. He's going around with a gang of space pirates, conquering worlds, and somehow when someone says, hey, if you just keep doing this thing you're doing, eventually someone will show up that's actually going to put up a fight. First off, how exactly would that be a solution to their problem? They're just going to tell him not to stop doing the thing he's already doing. Secondly, this one-eyed goon hears some random nobody tell him to walk off into the corner of the universe and just sort of goes along with it. Why? Why? Not only is Boros an idiot, but the seer is also an idiot. Everyone is an idiot. The solution to the problem is to encourage him.
Yeah, even telemarketers wouldn't be that stupid. Oh, fuck, I just got a call from a telemarketer.
More of a...
Let me just go on and say this, man. It's because of the writers, man. They pretty much had the idea that, oh yeah, this guy, this alien is bored, and then he wants to go around here and get your towns and other planets and then take them over and stuff like that, man. For real. If this dude is a straight up a copy imitation of Freeza. He's basically discount Freeza with the one eye, man. Shoot, you put Big Freeza up against this dude, you'll murk you without a second thought out in the world. Poof. It's like a coughing baby up against a ridiculous bomb. Ridiculous bomb. Even then, no matter how much nuclear, even if you was a hydrogen bomb, you just get bombed out here right in the ends out here with this mess. This dude is so stupid. Straight up foolish. They ain't even proper out here. And then everybody else wanna say, oh, let's just go to do this thing, you go take over Earth, tell us something more, bro. Okay, first off, people. First off, you not about to go. First off, you only seen that kind of cracking Dragon Ball where Frieza opposes one big planet, and then some other dudes who's trying to his friends from the Saiyans that they messed up with us that they made. Now you that same tyrant out here that destroyed the very same planet Vegeta on. Even Goku had to go and down on you. That is some real shit. Him and Satan, they on some other shit because dude out here, you want to seek the challenge from this dude. Who is this guy thinks he is? A coon? To me, but then again, I forgot. Saitama is like Popeye, a cat character. So this dude is just a straight up one-liner that's probably trying to be a mimic Dragon Ball like he think he Frieza or something. Come on, man. Come on.
Brawn over brains kind of guy. He's got so much brawn, in fact, that he has to wear a suit of armor specifically designed to restrain his power.
You don't get to see him do a whole lot in this armor. All he really does is show that he can sense a person's energy, but it's a fair assumption that he's still at least as powerful as his strongest minion.
And then that armor is gonna end up breaking too. I mean, I ain't seen an anime. Saitama went literally come breaking out. He go breaking that armor like You know, like you think he stole something, and then he goes being big like that. Oh, please. Let's just get real, people.
Like the Unkgeta, who was able to throw these rocks under his increased gravity. The speed of which he threw them was calculated at relativistic, requiring a kinetic energy of over 30 gigatons of TNT, enough to wipe an island clean off the map.
The armor doesn't just restrict him, of course. It's still armor. It lets him take a lot of damage without worrying about it harming his physical body.
It took a full-on, normal, serious punch from Saitama to shatter this thing to pieces. Saitama's non-serious punches vary in power a lot, depending on who he's fighting, but at minimum he was able to spare Goibas, who is stronger than the aforementioned Unkgeta.
And Saitama's best direct feat in his casual state was when he broke apart this giant meteor that was going to crush the city. This feat was cocked at over 10 teratons of TNT, and given that Boros was invading and intending to destroy Saitama's home planet, it's safe to say he wasn't holding back more than usual like he was fighting.
Yeah, on that 10 teratons. And you see, that was one of the best action scenes I ever seen out of One Punch Man too. And and can't forget about this Speedo Sound Sonic fool. Look at, oh, see that fool? I remember him. Saitama uses one fist and then he lands and then he got hit in the nuts. Like literally, man.
Say, Speed of Sound Sonic.
The Virgin, Speed of Sound Sonic, the Chad, Boros.
Yes, thank you, Demon, once again for your insightful commentary.
It takes a lot to destroy this armor, but if you somehow do, they'll only screw you over because the forceful power is unleashed.
In this state, we saw Boros to be an incredibly aggressive fighter, with his energy literally exploding out of him like a Dragon Ball character. And that's not just for show, he's able to project into giant lasers with enough power to vaporize any normal being down to the bone.
We just talked about how it takes enough power to wipe out a country to even get this guy to start trying, and now I'm meant to be impressed that he can vaporize a regular person?
I don't think you fully heard me, the bones get vaporized too.
Whoa.
Without his armor holding him back, Boros becomes strong enough to tear through his own ship and even break bits of it apart. The same ship that was hardly affected by Tatsumaki's redirected onslaught of giant bullets.
His strength isn't only, well, strength, though. His speed is really something to behold, easily being able to move faster than the eye can track and even able to keep up with Saitama's casual speed in their battle.
Their battle that was so intense that it led him to losing an arm, but he still carried on through sheer tenacity. Well, and the fact that he can regenerate, that probably helped too.
Boros doesn't have a massive healing factor, but by focusing his energy on whichever part of his body is destroyed, he's able to speed up the healing process to where lost limbs don't really mean anything. But he didn't even regrow his instantly. He got by just one arm, just like a badass.
Still, like any healing factor, Boros has to actively choose to utilize it as opposed to it happening naturally. Like he explained to Saitama in that massive monologue before the body shut him right up.
And if he's being pressured too much, that'll just screw you over, because then he can pull out his ultimate form and his full power will be unleashed.
Didn't you already say
Meteoric Burst! In this form, Boros uses his energy to repel himself forward and unleash a massive flurry of attacks on his opponent.
Wonder if we should start putting headphone warnings in our episodes. Anyway, though the form doesn't put a massive strain on his body and shortens his lifespan, so if he doesn't have to use it,
yeah, but who cares when the form is already...
Hey, I can't even pause this. Okay. Head up. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that form. That form was like the most craziest form I've ever seen. I guess he did have an excuse to fight Saitama after all, man. Still, I mean, it's impressed me. That form pretty much did some dance. I mean, but yeah, if I had to rank the best anime fights, I would say still Goku and Vegeta's fight was at the top. Because they're rivals. Sasuke, and that's next to Sasuke, and Yusuke, and Naruto, and even Yusuke, and he so there you go. But this fight what was good. It displays the raw power that this villain even has, though.
A guaranteed win for him, and a loss for everyone in the general area. He was powered enough to send Saitama flying to the moon, and he got there in about 3 seconds. For him to be set that fast, that would be over 132 million meters per second, or over 40% the speed of light.
Attacking potency-wise, Boros was able to not just destroy, but straight up liquefy.
Okay. And these are the simple feats: destroy chunks sewn on his ship, kept pace with a casual Saitama, survived the executive normal punches, kicked Saitama to the moon, causing that collapse Star Roaring Cannon can... We'll get to that. Oh. So they're going to get to that. Okay, this last one, okay, understandable. But yeah, I ain't seen his... But yeah, I saw him get kicked to the moon in the first season. Yeah. Hopefully I get to see... Well, we'll wait till after the announcers. I saw Matt. And then he throwing... So yeah, that moon was very... I guess that moon feed scene was iconic. That you can never even replace that out here, man. And that's like million liters to even split that whole entire moon. It would take a man to be landing on the moon and come right back, dude. And that was a never before seen thing. Man. I like to see other enemies, I don't know, so leveling. Jujutsu Kaisen would do this same thing like Saitama does, but we digress.
Massive chunks off his ship. Not even by attacking it, mind you, the energy he was giving off just by flying around was enough to tear the ship's surface to pieces. We've mentioned Tatsumaki's onslaught before and how the ship no-sold it, but it was able to tank Saitama jumping back down from the moon with little more damage than a crater. It got knocked down as well, but that hardly counts as damage, though it does count for the energy Saitama's jump would need to pull that off. To move something that massive at his speed, Saitama would have needed to land on it with over 880 teratons worth of TNT.
And despite the strain the form puts on his body, he's still insanely difficult to put down. Not only did he take a more powerful punch from Saitama than before, of enough force to give him a mouth, but he took a full-on volley at consecutive normal punches that completely liquefied him and still pulled him back together.
It was then that Boros unleashed his ultimate trump card.
Wait, but didn't we already?
Yeah, it doesn't feel so good, does it? Anyway, he channeled all his energy into his most powerful move, the Collapsing Star Roaring Cannon. Or Planet Busting Roar Cannon if you prefer. The latter name is more accurate, but the former sounds cooler. So pick your poison, I guess. Regardless, it's a massive laser that Boros charges up as lightning is shot all around him before firing.
I think you'll find the first one is more accurate name exactly. Look at this DVD guide that states Boros can destroy a star.
Where'd you get those pair of glasses?
I own them.
Your brain in a jar, why do you need glasses?
Okay. Earth's collapse with Star Roaring Cannon, which is stable enough to obliterate a moon, lesser planet. Saitama resources series up until the point where he won battles with his hallmark one punch. Now he brings out at his own other killer moves to sell the roaring battle. Okay, well, okay. Saitama finally unleashes his trump card. Alright, serious punch. Okay, cool. But yeah, we seen that happen, man. He had to go all out with this dude. This dude was tough. Hard, bro.
I got 3 bodies, man.
I don't know why I had these conversations with you. Anyway, well, that's a hotly debated topic. Some brush it off as a mistranslation, some accept it, but it wasn't written by one or Maruda anyway, so I doubt it matters much. The official statements regarding the attack's power vary a lot between destroying the planet and just getting it off the planet's surface.
Oh boy, this is gonna be a long one, isn't it?
Both interpretations are accepted by different people, but Psychos, another top-tier villain in One Punch Man, has a feat with calculations ranging from multi-continent and small planet level. So we're going with the interpretation that he's a planet buster.
But Psychos comes after Boros in the story. Why should she not be stronger though?
Boros is given a higher threat level at above Dragon compared to just Dragon for Psychos.
What? Boros isn't put as a god-level threat? He isn't considered a threat to all humanity? The guy was able to wipe out all of life on the planet? How much more of a threat to humanity can you get?
Threat levels aren't usually an accepted way to scale villains in this series, but considering it took a serious Saitama to take Boros down whereas Psychos was matched by Tatsumaki, it's a fair assumption that Boros is superior. Speaking
of Saitama, Boros' ultimate attack finally got him to take him seriously and unleash a full-force, serious punch. It sent out a shockwave that completely canceled out the beam, took Boros out, and then still kept going as it parted the clouds across the entire planet.
Boros' was completely overtaxed. His energy was draining, he was mortally wounded. And yet, he still managed to hang on for a little longer. He and Saitama shared some final remarks about how tough their battle was, but Boros knew he was never really enough to push Saitama to his limit. His opponent never got the fight he truly craved, but he did. As Saitama walked off, Boros and his ship plummeted to the ground, finishing the tyrant off after having finally achieved his lifelong dream, after getting the challenge to his might he always wanted.
You lie. You were holding back, weren't you? I never stood a chance.
I remember that
It
scene.
wasn't even a battle. You obliterated me. So much for the words of prophecies.
Okay.
Now that we see
Okay. Okay, after hearing both of the announcers, I think it's gonna come down to who has the most rawest of power. I think he's gonna come down to who had the better speed and the versatility. You know, who will probably have the better hacks. I'm going to basically side on Dexyos on this one, because like Boros got the collapse of Star Wars cannon, but I believe there may be a way that he could probably regenerate. And trust me, yeah, so gonna go side with Boros on Dexyos with this one.
what these alien can do, it's time to see which one of them fare better against the other.
Will Boros finally meet his match like he always wanted? Will Dexyos just be one more disappointment for him to conquer?
Will Boros show why they call him the Dominator of the Universe, or will Dexyos prove itself worthy of the title of the DNA Pokemon?
Can we just say the thing and get to the animation already? I'm so tired. I just want to go home. I've got like no sleep.
It's time for these two fictional characters to
I
collide.
wanna go home.
What is this? This is not good. Very not good.
Lord Boros, whatever
Yes,
was
it
in
is,
that
Emily.
meteor we hit
Yes,
has just
it is,
destroyed
Emily, but never
Mazaganagarima.
forget, right?
Don't worry, Unkgeta. I'll deal with this myself. Who are you to attack my vessel? A primitive incapable of speech. This is hardly worth my... This armor, meant to seal my immense, immeasurable power, has been broken. Perhaps this will be worthwhile after all.
Fight!
You've telekinetic powers, yet ones that pale in comparison to Garyuganshu. Let's see you survive this! This will wipe you away completely! Not even your bones will remain! A transformation, huh? Thanks for the tip. Meteoric Burst! This is Meteoric Burst. By unleashing all my power at once, I can accelerate my body's levels beyond the limits of mortal Very well.
Drop kick.
Your defenses will only last so long. With each blow you lose stamina, while I have no such problem. You are a worthy foe, but the outcome of this battle was inevitable. My species won the battle for survival. A wound like this is less than nothing to me. You, however, cannot...
Oh, yeah, he regenerated.
What is this triggering? The total of this form is too much.
Yep.
If the battle had gone on any longer, I don't know if I would have been able to withdraw. Such power! I will end this now! Collapsing star! Roaring cannon! I've lost a good fight.
Boros finally fought a worthy foe, and their battle was legendary. Glad you got your life's goal fulfilled. Rest easy, buddy.
He slaughtered World's Demon.
Oh, okay, well maybe it's just a bit misguided.
But what's not misguided is having Deoxys beat him, so let's explain why it did.
Yo, good segue.
Yeah, you should learn how to do one sometime.
Ouch. Ooh.
So, Boros may have had better regeneration and possibly more experience, but he clearly wasn't going to keep up with Deoxys when in his armor or outside of Meteoric Burst. But factoring in the Collapsing Star Roaring Cannon...
Planet Buster Roaring Cannon.
Potato. Factoring the Collapsing Star Cannon puts him on a planetary level alongside Deoxys.
But Boros starts facing some problems when you factor in how far into the planet-busting tier both of them can get.
For Boros to be able to overcome the gravitational binding energy of the Earth and blow it to pieces, it would require about 54 zetatons of TNT.
But Deoxys' Grand Meteor Delta should be stronger. The effect it would have upon impact was shown in the manga. And even more conservative calculators put this at nearly 100 zetatons of TNT, almost double Boros' big fuck-off laser.
This should scale to both of their durability as well, since Boros just barely survived Saitama's shockwave, which overpowered the mouthful cannon, and Deoxys would likely have been able to survive the meteor impacting the planet, backed up by how it survived being in the epicenter of Mega Rayquaza smashing into pieces.
Though this doesn't mean Deoxys is on the level of Mega Rayquaza, given that both Mewtwo and Rayquaza have held their own with, and even defeated it in the past in their base forms. True, it shouldn't scale to higher tier legendary stuff like Necrozma, Lighting Up Ultra Space, or anything involving Arceus or the Creation Trio.
Speed-wise, they were fairly similar though. On a surface level, both have easily shown speeds that exceeded what the human eye can see. But going beyond that, they both have scaling that can get them into the relativistic to light speed tier. With Pokemon below Deoxys being able to dodge light-based moves like Solar Beam, and even base Mewtwo being able to dodge a bunch of Techno Blasts which are light-based, and Boros was able to briefly surprise a casual Saitama with his speed, who's more than able to keep up with characters like Gyanganshoop and Flashy Flash, who have been stated to be able to attack at near to even over light speed.
So Boros can keep up in speed, but was just outgunned in the long run.
Raw power isn't the only reason Deoxys takes. Let's assume their maximum power for a second. Deoxys still has all of its power available at all times, while Boros has to gradually ascend to power over the course of the battle. He starts out actively restricting himself with the armor, and then his full power is a trump card held until he actually needs to use it. And the Who Cares cannon is a last resort even for that form. So the chances for him to be able to last long enough to use it are very slim. And even then, if he can use it, he only gets one shot. It's something he has to charge and put all his energy into, so if it misses or Deoxys survives it, Boros would be completely drained and Deoxys would be able to take the win there and then.
Even putting that aside and just equalizing stats outright, Deoxys' versatility would still be able to give him the win. Boros' regeneration has shown to be prepared his body to much greater extent than Deoxys, but Deoxys can also learn Recover, which replenishes its stamina, and Deoxys is the only one of the two who can alter their stats, buffing itself with moves like Cosmic Power, Iron Defense, Amnesia, and Double Team, while nerfing Boros with moves like Leer, and rebounding his attacks with Mirror Coat and Counter, and paralyzing him with Zap Cannon.
Boros certainly put up a good fight, but Deoxys' sheer versatility and overwhelming power proved too much for him to handle in the end. Finally, he had met his match.
Deoxys really showed us why it deserved to be the DNA Pokemon. Oh, hey, wait, Arch, where you going?
Yeah, no, see ya. See you in the next episode.
The winner is Dexyos.
Okay. Okay. Alright, so I guess they explained it out. Dexyos was gonna take the win. We already know that. I mean, Dexyos was way too fast. He was. I mean, he on the similar speed feat than Boros, but he was way too powerful. He hits way too harder. Plus, he can survive most everything named Boros can't. And by the way, a Pokemon that can regenerate way faster than he could, it is only that his regeneration gonna end up getting attacked anyway. And here's the thing, Dexyos is pretty much gonna keep on going, so don't point him out in trying to delay the inevitable. Yeah, I guess one thing he borrowed, named the Dexyos Boros was from him. Oh, win. Alright, I'm terrible at puns. Alright, roll this next time. Who is going to be?
Next time on Fictional Characters Collide.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, so I think that's actually the end of this edition of Unkgeta Reacts to Fictional Characters Collide. I'm probably going to definitely be doing reactions to FCC every week from now on, at least until we get some new stuff from that about anyway. So don't really want to leave y'all out. So. And this was a fun, this was a fun analysis. This was if you say this was an actual fun analysis, I'm not gonna lie, you know. We got the technical details. That's the technical. We got logic, got it right. And with that in the whole. And then the whole summary of that, they got their analysis right. The battle animation with Nemesis, boy, it's on par, on brand with it, and there's probably a lot more to come with it though. I mean, if you haven't, because he did it well, Townsend on actually everything. Music was okay too, you know. Music is okay too. Rolling Cosmic, that's crazy from like Sky, you know. BGM, you know, cause he does that whole thing. So if you guys want to check these guys out, the original video in the description, go check these guys out. Be sure to check their Discord out too, cause it's fun over there as well. So, and he let me I actually asked if I could do this. So yeah, so shout out to Demon for doing this. I'm gonna be doing this every week though, starting from this week obviously on into the new year. So you'll be seeing another reaction. See you guys next week.